Hello everyone. In this video lecture we are going to study about the double fertilization process. Okay, so as we all know that the fertilization process is a common term in the plant as well as animal, which means the fusion of male and female gamete to form a zygote. Remember that male and female gametes are haploid in nature, but when they get fused they will form a diploid zygote. Okay, so that's what the fertilization process is. Okay, but when we say double fertilization process, it is somewhat unique and special process which takes place in angiospermic plant. Okay, so what exactly the angiosperms are? So the angiosperms, remember, they are highly advanced plant or highly evolved plant which can produce a seeds or a fruit and even flowers as well. Okay, so they are a flowering plant. So as I'm telling you, they are a flowering plant. The flower becomes very important part here, as the flower is considered as a reproductive part which consists of the female or male reproductive organ in which the male and female gametes they get produced. Okay, so the question is where exactly this fertilization process they occur. So remember, they occur in the ovary, and the ovary is a part of female reproductive organ, that is gynoecium. Okay, so now means just before we go directly for the double fertilization process explanation, let us go for the basic concept. Okay, so this is the flower, a typical flower part you can see here. So basically there are many parts in the flower, but here we are going to focus on only the certain or important parts. So here this part you can see the lowermost part, which are small outgrowth and they are green in color. So this is one of the word. And next here you can see the reddish color, or any the different flowers, they are having different colors, so those are called as a petals. And next to it you can see inner side to that there are the filamentous portion, and the innermost part is a female reproductive organ. Okay, so let's see one by one the all the whorls. The lowermost part is called as a calyx. Okay, so the calyx you can see as being green in color. The main function of calyx is to do photosynthesis process to certain extent level. And one more role of the calyx are, you may have been seen any flower in the bud condition, that the green portion or the green outgrowth, which is a calyx, they cover to entire floral whorls. Okay, so it means the calyx are doing, or they are playing role for protection to inner floral whorls. Okay, so this is about the calyx. Okay, so here you can see the sepal term. So sepal means what? These all the outgrowths are called as a calyx, and when we talk about the individual member, they are called as a sepal. Okay, so the sepal is a singular word, while all the sepals, okay, they are called as, that is sepals, they are called as a calyx. Okay, so this is one of the whorl, which is outermost whorl. Next to it you can see, just above to it, there are different means there are many outgrowths are present which are having the attractive colors, and even they are having the sweet scented, or I can say the sweet fragrance. So as we all know, the flower, they looks very attractive. Okay, because they are having a different colors, and even they are having a sweet fragrance. So I can say the main function of those petals in most of the plant are to attract the pollinating agents. Okay, so the pollinating agents are the agent which may be biotic or abiotic. So when we talk about the biotic agent, like birds and honeybees, they will attract the, means these colored petals will attract the pollinating agents, so they can do the pollination process. Okay, so I can say these are the next floral whorl, which are called as a corolla. Okay, so corolla is a complex term, and when we talk about the individual member of the corolla, they are called as a petal. Okay, so next to it I can say the inner whorl. Okay, so this is a filamentous whorl you can see, which are called as a androecium. Remember, it is very important part, because androecium are called as male reproductive organ, and the individual member of the androecium is called as a stamen. Okay, next you can see the innermost whorl is called as a gynoecium, and this gynoecium is called as a female reproductive organ, and again the individual member is called as a carpel. Okay, so all the 1, 2, 3 and 4, all the 4 whorls of the flower has been categorized into 2 different groups. You can see here the first group is called as a essential whorl and the next group is called as a accessory whorl. Okay, remember these essential whorl are very important, and they are actually the gynoecium and endoecium. So they are called as essential because they are very important for reproduction. Anyhow, you all know that gynoecium and endoecium are actually the reproductive whorl which can produce a male and female gametes. So obviously they will be very important and essential. The next whorl is called as the accessory whorl, which is a calyx on and corolla. Okay, so it doesn't mean that they are not important, even they are important as well. How I can say that the accessory whorl are also important? So I can say that accessory whorls are not directly participating for reproduction, but they are helping to those essential whorl. Okay, so let us see about those accessory whorl. So as I have told you, the calyx at the time of birth condition, they protect the inner whorls where inside there is a reproductive organs, female reproductive organ. So ultimately they are going to protect those whorl. Okay, so I can say the calyx, they are going to protect those whorls. And next, corolla. So the corolla will going to attract the pollinating agent so that the pollination and reproduction can be done. So ultimately both the whorls are very important. Okay, but still we are going to focus only on the essential whorl because our main topic is double fertilization. Okay, so it means where the male and female gametes are very important, and those gametes will going to produce in the male and female reproductive organ, which is nothing but the essential whorl. Okay, so let us first focus on those essential whorl. Okay, so the next part is essential whorl. Here you can see, yeah. Okay, the essential whorl, which means the endoecium and gynoecium. Okay, the endoecium is a male reproductive organ, and as I have told you before, it is called as the individual member of the endoecium is a stamen. So here you can see the diagram of the stamen, which consists of 3 parts. Okay, the upper anther, in between connective, and last part or the lowermost part is called as a filament. Okay, so you can see the filament is what? It is nothing but the stalk which raise the anther part in the flower, and connective is in between part which is called as a point of attachment in between the anther and filament. Also I can say the connective ka main role is it is acting as a conductive strands. Okay, so the next above part or the apical part is anther, which is very important part. Why? Because this anther is acting as a container which consists of the pollen sac. Pollen sac means it is a sac-like it is a sac-like structure which consists of pollen grains, and the pollen grains are actually called as male gametophyte, which means they are having the male gametes, or I can say pollen grain will produce male gametes, and this male gamete will further going to fuse with the female gamete to form a diploid zygote. Okay, so here in this diagram you can see this part is an anther part. It is a rough diagram of anther in which there is a circular structure. You can see that is a pollen sac, and in this sac you can see that small granular structure I have drawn, and that is called as a pollen grain. Okay, and individual pollen structure is like this. You can see here outermost spiny layer is called as an exine, the innermost layer is called as an intine, while inside to which you can see 2 male gametes. Okay, so it means this part, that is pollen grain, is called as male gametophyte, where the male gametes is produced. Okay, so ultimately this male gamete will fuse with the further after pollination process, I can say this male gamete get fused with the female gamete, which are haploid in nature and will form zygote further. Okay, so this was about the endoecium or stamen, I can say. The next essential whorl is gynoecium, which is a female reproductive organ. The individual member is called as a carpel, and it shows 3 parts. Uppermost part is a stigma, the middle portion is called as a style, and the lowermost bulbous portion is called as a ovary. Okay, so stigma is playing here very important role, as stigma will going to receive the coming pollen grain after pollination. germination. Okay, so as I have shown here that these are the granular part, that is pollen grain, which is present in the anther. This pollen grain will transfer and will fall on the stigma part, the female part. So stigma is acting as a receptor or receiving part. Okay, the next you can see your tubular structure, which is just below to the stigma. This is acting as a tube or the channel, okay, for the germinating pollen grain, so that the this pollen tube will enter or penetrate inside this channel of the style and will reach to the chamber of the ovary. Okay, where exactly the female gamete is present, so that the fertilization can be done. And the last portion is a bulbous portion, which is known as a ovary. Ovary is very important part, as this ovary consists of ovule, and ovule is having embryo sac. This embryo sac is considered as female gametophyte, which means they will be having the female gamete, which means egg. Okay, so this egg is actually the female gamete, with which the male gamete will fuse to form a zygote. Okay, so here we understood the endoecium and gynoecium structure. So I hope that here you understood exactly where the male and female gametes are present. Okay, because before fertilization process we all should know that where exactly is the location of male and female gametes. So remember, the anther is a part in which there is a pollen grain, and pollen grain is a male gametophyte where the male gametes are produced. And remember, in the female reproductive organ, ovary, very important part, and ovary is having ovule in which there is a embryo sac, which ultimately is having the female gamete, that is egg. Okay, so here we can see that how the endoecium and gynoecium structure is, and where exactly the male and female gametes are present. Okay, so next we have to focus here on the ovule part. Why? Because ovule is a part where exactly you can see the embryo sac, which is having female gametes, that is egg. Okay, so focusing on the ovule part, here you can see the structure of ovule. Okay, so this is a detailed structure of ovule. So here I am going to focus only on the important part which is related to the fertilization process. So this is a part which is called as a this is a part which is called as a funicle, that is a small stalk of the ovule. Okay, the outer covering, the pinkish color, you can see these two layers are called as a integument. So the outer layer of integument is called as a outer integument, while the inner layer is called as a inner integument. Inner to the integuments there is a purple portion, you can see, that is called as nucellus, and the nucellus is actually nutritious in nature, which will going to nourish the inner embryo sac. And finally